What's up, y'all? This is DJ Trey Mo, and welcome to Superstar KO. All right, let's get it in. Want to play by yourself? Hit 1v1. You and a buddy? Hit 2v2. Or if you're really trying to squad up, hit that 3v3, and let's get it popping.
Opened back in 2003. Have a look at the link. Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Play action. It's Herbert. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that 1st down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. So still a scoreless game in the 1st, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. They snap it to Herbert. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down. Now
let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. He's got room to roam. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Will Dissly, 43 yards. And the Chargers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the 1st quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Britton Covey going to bring it out of his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Great, set. 63.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Boy, that ball is just hanging up there waiting to be intercepted. That looked doomed from the start. But they took the deep shot anyway, and fortunately, it winds up incomplete.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 6-0 our score after one.
Eagles nothing.
Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Hurts. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hey, Silver.
Throwing is Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's Hurts to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Herbert. And he's got his big tight end here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or two towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
On the move to his left. A wild throw there, and it is intercepted. And now the rookie's free. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick-6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick-6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. crease here as he's past the 30.
Darius Davis on the return. The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Right back to Dobbins on first. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 61 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. They finally caught up to him there at the end of the play, but great inside handoff, and what a powerful run.
The first few yards seemed relatively easy. Then it got tougher, right? And that's where he showed that he was not going to go down easily. He was not going to be denied until he got everything he could out of that run.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Hurst. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Will Dissly in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. It took a pretty big risk right there going for it on fourth down. But, hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, fourth down, they went for it.
He's got it at the 2, but he is not going to make it into the end zone. They stop him short, so they'll add only 6 as we come up on halftime. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. Airing it out deep for Smith. And it's knocked away and incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
12 yards. And an Eagles
No touchdown.
first down.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
No touchdown.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
No touchdown.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
A gain of 9 yards. That's good.
Up the middle with Barkley. Still going inside the 20. 77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
No touchdown.
On the sneak, it's Hurts. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone.
Round left, Yanni. No touchdown.
Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. No CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right?
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. He may go. And finally down at the 9-yard line. A big play there for L.A. 61 yards that time on the ground. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
He'll swing this out to Dobbins. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up on 4th and goal from the 4, and as a result, they could have had the lead with a field goal. Instead, they turn the ball over on downs. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
No touch.
They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Here's 3rd and 7.
On the 7-yard line. A gain of a yard.
No touch.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
They'll run it again with Barkley. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
13-yard line. A gain of 6 yards.
They'll run with Barkley. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game, 1st and 10 here. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
No touch.
Here's a give to Barkley. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. One last throw here for Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting into midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gordon. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.